Car break-ins, this neighborhood, the Tenderloin.
San Francisco's mayor is talking tough. She is promising to crack down on crime in one of the city's toughest neighborhoods and tackle property crimes across the city. KPIX5's Wilson Walker on her plan.
You live in San Francisco, you know it. Growing frustration with the status.
More aggressive.
Current state of affairs.
Proposing today.
All right. The language, it was a real tone, not just in a real change, not just in policy, but in the tone that the mayor has been using. I think anyone who's followed the mayor probably noticed that today.
Yeah, and it sounds like she was really fed up with the whole thing. She wanted to see change. She wanted to take action now, real action. How well do you think that played, though, with the Board of Supervisors who will have to approve parts of this plan?
Well, she was joined by two of them today, which gives you maybe an idea of the numbers that she's up against at the other end of the building. She was making the comments while the board was meeting today. But there's something else to be said.
Good morning, everyone. I'm San Francisco Mayor London Breed, and I want to thank you all for joining us here today to talk about public safety on a whole nother level in light of the challenges that our city continues to face. You know, this has been a problem that has persisted in this city for some time now. And the fact is, things have gotten worse over time. And I want to take a moment to appreciate our public safety officials that are joining us here today, some of whom you will hear from in a short moment.
2011 billion.
But thank you to our Police Chief Bill Scott for being here, our Fire Chief, is that our city continues to face. You know, this has been a problem that has persisted in this city for some time now. And the fact is, things have gotten worse over time. And I want to take a moment to appreciate our public safety officials that are joining us here. Aggressive, facing addiction and other challenges, and impacting community-led beautification and open space of what this means. Our priorities are focused on issues of drug dealing, violent crime, public drug use, safe passage and accessibility for the people who live and work there.
Now to Washington, where President Biden's social spending bill appears to be in jeopardy. This comes after West Virginia Democrat Joe Manchin announced he will not support it. As CBS reporter Natalie Brand tells us, Senate Democrats have vowed to take a vote in the new year regardless.
One day after West Virginia Senator Joe Manchin told Fox News he would not support the president's nearly $2 trillion social spending and climate bill, the Build Back Better Act.
I've tried everything humanly possible. I can't get there.
He sat down with a local podcast and doubled down.
There's nothing in there about accountability, holding people accountable. There's no work requirement. There's no means testing to where you're targeting the people who really need it.
The backlash from party progressives has been swift. Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez called it a breach of trust in an interview on MSNBC.
The idea that Joe Manchin says he can't explain this back home.
We begin today with a massive Christmas-time headache for US President Joe Biden, and it's been delivered by a prominent member of his own party. Senator Joe Manchin of West Virginia said over the weekend that he is not able to support Joe Biden's ambitious Build Back Better initiative, a massive public spending proposal that includes, among many other things, most of the president's climate change initiatives. As late as last week, the president held negotiations with Senator Manchin, a conservative-leaning Democrat from West Virginia whose support is absolutely crucial if the bill is ever to pass. The White House expected to cut a deal with Senator Manchin early next year, but in an abrupt move, the Democrat made an appearance on Fox News to pull the rug out from beneath the White House.
And where I'm at right now, the inflation that I was concerned about
It's not transitory, it's real. It's harming every West Virginian. It's making it almost difficult for them to continue to go to their jobs, the cost of gasoline, the cost of groceries, the cost of utility bills. All of these things are hitting in every aspect of their life. And you start looking at then you have the debt that we're carrying at $29 trillion. And I cannot vote to continue with this piece of legislation. I just can't. I've tried everything humanly possible. I can't get there.
Well, those words sparked uproar within the Democratic Party and prompted an immediate war with the White House itself. The president's office took personal aim at Senator Manchin, accusing him of a breach of trust. White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki released an unusually blunt statement saying that Joe Manchin's comments are at odds with his discussions with the president, White House staff, and his own public utterances. When asked about the flap in a press conference, Jen Psaki appeared somber and said that the White House will hear the concerns of the senator.
SJVC has been training students to hit the ground career ready for over 40 years. Gain the
We've been in close touch, as you all know, with Senator Manchin for several months now. That will continue. That can include answering questions he may have, hearing concerns he may have. We are in touch with him, with his staff, through senior White House officials at this point in time, and we believe he's been operating and negotiating in good faith.
But that was on Friday, before everything changed over the weekend. And now progressive independent senator from Vermont, Bernie Sanders, is harshly criticising Joe Manchin and calling on Democrats to put the Build Back Better bill as high as 20 them in that regard as we hurtle towards the midterm elections. This is not an attractive range of options that President Biden is currently looking at.
Right, exactly. You know, this bill is dead right now in its current form. And, you know,